guys, episode 1, the Real Deal Combat Sports Show.
We're here.
We're here.
It's time. It's time to start.
Lies, truths, and everything in between. Worldwide leader in absolutely nothing. And this is our set. I mean, we're proud of it. We put absolutely no money into it. You know, I mean, it's
Entrepreneurs. True
table.
entrepreneurs.
We've talked about the table. You know, the table, we just kind of found it. We threw this together.
We got it going.
Anyway, so we're going to get right to it because unfortunately YouTube wants to be a little sis about things. They don't want to let me upload like a 2-hour show. We can talk for 2 hours.
That YouTube.
Okay, so we want to start out, guys. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm John Helton, world champion interim, but you know, I'm working on getting that belt. But, not for real. I'm on our Top Fight Academy, and this is my crew. These are my homies: Ryan Bryant, Michael Sturgill, Trey Baker. We got some minds here tonight, so we're going to talk some stuff. First off, we're going to get started. Youth grappling, man. Youth grappling. For those of you that don't understand, there's some kids out here at the age of 6 or 7 years old that absolutely are beast mode, and you know, I feel like I had the privilege of seeing the birth of that.
No doubt.
I just, it's a special thing to me to know that we've got kids, no matter what, we have a house full of kids every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on competition class. Right now it's a little down because we're doing wrestling season and there's some other things going on, but you know, that'll be back fired up. But just looking around the scene, November 12th, Warrior FC coming to RW Combs here in Hazard. Support your local MMA guys. If you're out there and if you're seeing this in Anchorage, Alaska, support Anchorage, Alaska's local MMA scene. That's where your stars are born. November 12th, Maddox Little Slick Bryant takes on a little dude from Harlan, 7 years old, tough as nails.
Brody the Beast, I think is what they call him.
So,
won his last fight, guillotine. Hit us up, wanted to know if we wanted to do it, so it's game on.
So November 12th, RW Combs, Maddox Little Slick Bryant will be taking on
Brody Smith.
This will be in a youth grappling match before the MMA fights get started. That night there's amateur and professional MMA fights scheduled to fight. I mean, you just got to look down the line, some just big names. You've got Travis Pennington making his comeback. I mean, he's been off for a few years from fighting, but he's going to be back in the cage fighting a game opponent.
That's the match of the night. That's the match I'm looking for.
I'm looking really forward to that. I think Travis put out that this guy pinned him actually, not pinned him, but he beat him in wrestling when they were in high school. Not many people pin Travis Pennington.
No.
It's just not going to happen, you know, often. That's just, you know, but he beat him in wrestling according to Travis. This was on Travis's Facebook. But Travis is a different man since then. So that's going to be an awesome fight. Kim Beverly fighting again on pro, 18-year-old, I think. He's 3-2.
3-2 pro, went 6-0 as an amateur.
6-0 as an amateur. So that's going to be, you know, hometown Hazard guy. Trains out of Viper Pit MMA. Going to be fighting in pro. So great card lined up. Good things coming out of Adam Gomez's Ultimate Grappling Invitational. Is that right? UGI.
I checked that out. Was wanting to get Maddox involved in that. Unfortunately, it's scheduled during wrestling season. The card is crazy. We're talking about youth kids. You've got Jaden's. I think Jaden's last name. What is Jaden? Don't know Jaden's last name, but he's good. You got Kyle Wainscott. Taking on a kid from Butch House's gym. Maddox competed against. His name's happens to be Brody. Excited for that match. Isaiah Gomez coming off a huge tournament win just a few weeks ago. So tough kids, exciting.
This is your future, guys. And Michael, you know, you see these kids train every night. What do you think? They hardcore, right? I mean, you know what we do. You know.
Yeah, it's beast mode every night up here.
I mean, it's amazing to see it happen.
That's it.
Kids are hardcore.
Hardcore. You heard it here first. Everything you're going to hear it here first. I mean, everything.
Straight out top 5.
But,
Hit them up.
606.
606.
606. But, we recently had a seminar with Joe Bays. A big thanks to Joe Bays for coming down. If you're out there training and you don't know who Joe Bays is, you got to look him up. You're behind. It's like if you were studying a subject in school and you don't know who America is. If you're studying social studies and you don't know who America is, you're a little behind. Would I be correct on that?
You would
Is
be
that a
correct.
lie?
Joe Bays is somebody you need to look up.
He's America.
If you're looking at grappling and you like the dark side of leg locks, you need to know who Joe Bays
And
is.
Joe, man, just for those of you who don't know, Joe Bays, leg lock freak. And what's cool about Joe Bays, I feel he's a close friend. He may not feel that way. He might want to beat me up or something. No, me and Joe, I think we're good friends. We've been good friends for a long time. He was here for the very first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu seminar that was ever hosted in Hazard, Kentucky. That's when I feel things really got kicked off. He was here for that. So that relationship means a lot to me. Joe delivered an awesome seminar. Joe's got some big things coming up that Joe will announce, and we'll definitely follow from there. Big news tonight. Viper Pit fighter Dustin Collins makes his pro debut against Ed Ruth, who, if you don't know Ed Ruth, he's a Penn State wrestler, 3-time national champion, All-American. John Jones actually had Ed Ruth come into his training camp to help out with Daniel Cormier fight. So thoughts on that? Dustin took a loss, but stepped up fighting Ed Ruth.
I think good experience, go down, be in front of the big show, get the lights, the weigh-ins. I even caught a picture on Facebook signing posters. Awesome
That's
opportunity.
gotta be cool.
It's got to be cool, Took a loss, went in. No shame in who he lost to. Like I said, you learn, but maybe come back. Hopefully gets to the drawing board, trains a little bit, goes back at it.
But that's cool.
That's fighting.
Hazard guy, when I look back, 2008, March 2nd, I remember Trey Baker was there, very first seminar, man. Trey remembers.
Yeah, I was like 11 or 12 years old. It's been a few minutes.
Yeah, Trey was just a kid, just like so many of the great combat athletes that have evolved over the last few years.
Ken Beverly was like 15 when I moved here.
Ken was 15 when you moved here. Ken was like 8 or 7 when he started training down at the old gym, and then now, of course, they've got Viper Pit, which is, they've done some awesome things in the cage grappling, and down at Georgetown's grappling tournament. Just a strong MMA team. So Dustin fought on Bellator tonight, a big milestone for MMA in the Hazard area. Like I said, he took a loss, but he was fighting Ed Ruth, who really is an elite level wrestler. So props out there to Dustin for taking that fight, and proud of your efforts. I'm really looking forward to seeing Travis fight again. Beast mode all the way to the bone.
Nobody trains like Travis. Nobody's.
I don't think so. I mean, his strength and physical conditioning training is on another level. I mean, he works out with weights that people can barely lift up.
No doubt. What you got to keep in mind with Travis Pennington, this guy's he's still fighting an amateur.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking like Travis at amateur. Very few people is looking like him. Very few people is training like him. So I'm excited to see him
I
come
remember
in.
Travis head kicking a guy one time, and they took him out on a stretcher. This was a fight for Lexington. I wasn't involved in everything, but this is just history. But his stand-up is unreal, and he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu purple belt under Rob Nickerson, the
Legit gym,
legit
Reaction MMA.
George Gurgel's group, which takes me back to another thought, about Wolfie Steele. Wolfie Steele was a kid growing up a lot like Caleb and Maddox, Maddox has done 2 cage grappling matches now, and Wolfie used to do those and did everything he could. Now he's on the West Coast. He trained with Rob there for a while, moved to the West Coast. He's with Zenith now, and that's Robert Drysdale's group, by the way, and just killing it. He's still just a teenager. I think he may have hit 20 by now. I've kind of lost track of him over time, but I look at the kids now and I see a path that's been sort of charted that's much like his. So I can see, I could spit off 10 or 12 kids right off the top of my head that you give them 10 years, man, it's going to be beast mode.
Oh, another level, man. I don't grapple with these kids. That's why I come in here, try to beat up on them now, so I have to mess with them. when they get
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
going to be crazy.
We'll have to start a senior citizen.
Yeah, we're going to have to start the senior citizen class, let the kids just do their own thing,
Yeah.
because when they see us come in, they're just going to laugh,
Yeah.
you know. Shout out to Valhalla Academy. Thank you, Brian Jones, for everything you've done for us as a club. The Valhalla Association, is growing to be very strong down here in Eastern Kentucky. And a big shout out to Vincent Tabscott, who's growing a heck of a youth program up there. Guys, youth is where it's at. That's where your stars are coming from. They know how to train. They're learning how to train. And by the time they're teenagers, it's going to be unreal.
Okay.
So, a lot of good things going on here in Eastern Kentucky. You go a little further west. I don't know a lot about what goes on past about the Frankfort area, but you know, Alamanganello's got a great school out there. You know, they're Gracie Academy affiliate. Josh Johnson down there in E-Town, history with
Union
Josh.
County out there, man.
Union
They're
County.
bringing tough wrestlers,
Yeah.
kids wrestlers out in Union Counties.
So, you know, just a lot, there's a lot, you know, so I like to think going back, you know, think about just if one guy didn't do this or that, what would have happened? Look at Mike O'Donnell. Mike O'Donnell's first BJJ black belt in Kentucky. What would happen if Mike O'Donnell didn't come to Kentucky? I mean, it would have probably got started somehow, but, you know, I feel like Kentucky has got some really, really deep roots to the origins. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like
Oh,
they,
yeah.
Mike O'Donnell was doing this stuff back in the mid-90s, you know. I mean,
Okay.
and that's right when Hoist was making his name and bringing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the map in the United States. And, you know, the Cross and Gracie the association got hooked up strong here in Kentucky through the efforts of guys like Mike and Darren Durham, Brian Jones, and these guys. I mean, these are the guys.
Some of the
that-
black belts comes to mind, man, especially those old school black belts, man.
Those old school black belts are on. They're something.
Or something.
They, you really have got to train with these old school black belts to understand jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. They're, you know, everything gets watered down over time. You go train with some of these guys like Brian Jones and O'Donnell. These guys are unreal, man. I mean, it's crazy. But so thankfully, I've got my buddy here who knows all about the UFC. I'm not as up to date, but we are going to talk Ronda Rousey coming back. But she's coming back to a title shot right off the bat. Cyborg standing there. She's waiting. She'd do it for nothing. What do you think, Brian?
Well, if you want to talk Cyborg and Rousey, you got to go back and talk how it got started. Before the UFC, before the 135 class, before all that, Chris Cyborg dominated the division. Just plowing anybody and everybody that got in her way, gets popped for steroids. Again, we're talking 10, 12 years ago. Gets popped for steroids.
Are they keeping, and this is something I'm just not up to date on, are they keeping a close eye on her with steroids now?
She is reported to be one of the most tested individuals
Okay.
that the UFC, since USADA took over, she's been tested. They've come to her house. The woman's clean. You know, there's still going to be haters. She messed up 10 years ago. It happens. She messed up. She got busted. She gets suspended. In steps Rousey, wins the belt. Cyborg comes back in. The title shot set. Rousey versus Cyborg. It's on.
Yeah.
This was at 145.
Is this a strike force?
This is a strike force. Okay, 145. Rousey, boom, jump ship, UFC, 135. Nobody hears a Cyborg. Rousey builds up. Everybody knows what she done, not taking nothing away from her. I mean, this woman's a judo Olympian. She starts mauling through people. While on the back scene that nobody's seeing is Cyborg still cleaning house in strike force at 145. Okay? They come in, they finally, thank God, Dana White signs Cyborg to a few fights. Rousey's claiming to be the best in the world. Cyborg's claiming to be best in the world. Let's fight. This is my opinion on it. When you go back and you look at the call-outs and Cyborg willing to fight for free, they're ducking her. Ronda Rousey is ducking Chris Cyborg at the end of the day. That's all there is to it.
Me being I'm an avid jiu-jitsu and judo fan. I'm an avid fan of wrestling. But I know more about judo and jiu-jitsu, that sort of genre of grappling. due to that, I'm sort of innately, I'm a Ronda Rousey fan just because of her roots. But some of the stunts she's pulled lately really sort of pulled me away from her. You know, I think she is ducking Cyborg. I mean, she is. She's ducking Cyborg. And so I think you have to look at this. Ronda Rousey wants to go down as the greatest female fighter of all time, but how can that happen? Okay, let's say she comes back right now, Ryan. She fights Nunes. She gets beat. What'd she do?
It's over.
It's over.
She's not coming back. Ronda Rousey will be.
She would, and
She
then
becomes irrelevant. She's irrelevant.
She's still very
She's going to do movies.
historically relevant in how she, you know, was
Right.
sort of a pioneer in women's MMA. But I know Ronda Rousey wants to go down as the greatest female fighter of all time, and she cannot do that without fighting Cyborg. So I say this: Ronda Rousey, do 3 months training camp. Let Cyborg do 3 months training camp. It'd be a good fight. I mean, I don't think Cyborg would come out and just demolish her. It would probably have to, but I think Cyborg wins that fight. But I still think that Ronda Rousey, to solidify her status as at least top two,
Top 2, top 3.
she's got to fight Cyborg. That's
If
just my
the
opinion.
fight does happen, and I see it because she made the announcement the other day, win or lose with this Nunes fight, she's done. Dana White was claiming, yeah, she's going to fight Cyborg. You never heard it come out of Ronda's mouth.
Yeah.
Cyborg made a video, Ronda, say my name. Let's hear it come from you. Went to her gym, walked in the girl's
Called her
gym,
out.
called her out, jumped out of an airplane, called her out, offered to fight her for free. I mean, who does that? You know, that was one of the.
She's not going to fight.
She's not gonna
It's
fight.
not going to happen, and Ronda Rousey is not going to go down with the kind of legacy she would have went down if she would just took the fight instead of win or lose. I think she would have went down as possibly still the greatest of all time if she lost that fight.
Right
That's just my
here,
opinion.
right here, on this show, Brian Brown's making a prediction. If the fight goes down, won't make it to championship round. I'm taking Cyborg in 3 or under.
Really?
3 or under.
I think Cyborg in 1.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh!
A lot of truth and everything in between, but now that's bold right there.
That's
brother.
bold.
But,
I'm gonna write that down.
You heard it here, son.
Sturgill.
But it won't happen.
What you got, Trey? Sturgill says 1.
Well, I want Ronda to win because she's hot.
Ah! That's
Whoa,
what.
the looks win it for me.
Rhonda because she's hot.
I heart you, Ronda.
If this makes it, if this goes viral,
Trey, did you see pictures recently of, I don't know,
she's a little on the heavy
she
side. But
she
come
looked
fight
like
now.
she drunk a few more
She's on Slim Slow.
natural ices and ate a few more
She's on Slim Slow.
ding dongs than she should have had. That's
Yeah,
just, but
yeah.
anyway, she's cutting it back
Depends on how her
down.
appearance is at the fight. That's
All
the
right.
right side of it.
Well, so
What's kind of Shelton got real quick
That-
now? We got 3 predictions.
No,
Watch
I-
it. He's gonna wait till the fight's over and he's gonna be like,
No,
I called that.
I think Cyborg wins that fight, and
Hell, Cyborg.
I think she hurts her with the shot.
Call her in.
I think Ronda Rousey survives round 1. She gets to round 2, she gets rocked. She goes down to her knees, Cyborg falls up and just
That's detailed.
you know,
That's bold.
that's what
Okay.
I think. I see that happening because I don't see Ronda coming in and just judo throwing Cyborg.
She's too big.
She's too big. She's got good ground knowledge. I mean, she's got good grappling, all around grappling knowledge. I mean, she throws Tito Ortiz around the videos like you.
Oh
know,
man,
you talk about.
yeah. I mean,
Unreal, but anyway. Alvarez McGregor, this is a big deal because this sets up a lot of stuff for speculation, and just what we like.
Eddie Alvarez. I don't know. You know, anytime Conor McGregor's name is mentioned, Nate Diaz pops in my mind because that is a story that is not. It's not been closed.
It's not finished.
But we're talking Alvarez McGregor.
This is at 155.
155. I had the pleasure of watching Alvarez's live, about 8 rows back, debut match. Phenomenal leg kicker. And I've thought about this long and hard with the style, statistically. That's what makes fights.
There's no show like this on TV, by the way.
No, there's not. You're not going to hear some holler boys from ahead of Mud Creek talking to you. I mean, you're getting
hey, you can try,
often.
but we are who you're trying to be like.
Often
So all
imitated.
the shows out
Never
there.
duplicate.
Never duplicated.
Never duplicated. Often imitated, never duplicated. This is the real deal combat sports show.
You're gonna get a little bit of everything.
Lies, truth, and everything in between. Anyway, back to the story.
So, I've seen Alvarez. He stopped the guy with leg kicks, and I remember specifically telling my buddy I was there with, this guy's going to. If he hangs around and they gets invited to fight back, he's going to beat somebody. He ends up the champ. Styles makes fight. McGregor has no ground game. He got exposed. He's got good takedown defense. Not Melendez. What's the guy from Alpha Male? That the little wrestler that he took the fight.
Black-headed dude.
Short, man, it's like Melendez. I'm just having a brain fart.
Chad Mendez.
Chad Mendez.
Boom. Thank you.
Chad Mendez, awesome wrestler out of Team Alpha Male, comes in, takes McGregor down. McGregor getting a snot whooped out of him, if you remember.
He was lucky.
He got back to his feet though and got the job done. So, but he got exposed. He fought a high level Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt Nate Diaz. Nate, he'd never been put in that position at that level.
No.
Connor had always come out, brought it. He hits Nate. Nate's not having it. Brings the pressure back. Oh, you're a wrestler now. He shoots in, tries to take Nate.
So you got Nate and Nick sitting there now. They've got some money. They've got some leverage. I feel. Alvarez versus McGregor's going down. That's happening. Okay. So Connor or Alvarez, who you got?
I have read that Alvarez right now is huge. In my heart, I'm going to call Conor McGregor because I'm looking down the line to UFC 209.
And what do you got cooking there?
UFC 209, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz for the title.
For the
For
155.
the 155.
Okay.
Now
I still think this is what I think. I still see Connor getting around to Nate, but I see it a different way. I see Alvarez beating McGregor,
Could
and
happen.
I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Could happen.
I was researching today for Reese the Hobby, TriStar, GSP's, coach, TriStar. He kind of feels. He didn't really make a prediction. I don't think the video was really long. I didn't have time to watch all of it, but he had a good breakdown of it. But he thinks Alvarez has got the tools.
I feel like people's overlooking Alvarez in this fight. He's definitely got the tools.
Well, let's just say Alvarez beats McGregor. I mean, McGregor's rich. He's got a lot of money.
McGregor's done win or lose
You
for a
think
while,
that-
for at least
you
a
think
year.
that the guy though that's put so much into the sport, even though he's got the money, he can retire. He can do what he wants. Do you think though that just being the warrior he is, that the taste of a loss, just right there, man, can he go out like that?
I think the thing about McGregor is this guy. We talked about this before. This guy went from eating Viennese and crackers to steak for lunch, steak for dinner.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah,
That was his words. This
yeah.
guy went from living small to living large.
Steak dinners are big time to him.
Steak dinners every day.
Steak dinners
But
are big time to me too.
I like steak dinner.
I love steak.
I've never had
Malone's
steak
in
before.
Lexington. If we're going to talk steak,
This show is actually brought to you by Steak.
medium rare. Medium rare.
No, man, it's medium. It's just
I like the
medium.
blood. I like the blood. But anyway, so, man, I lost my train of thought. Where was we at?
Talking about eating.
Okay, dude goes from eating Viennese to steak.
Now he's got millions.
He's got millions, but he's on the road. He's doing the cameras. He's doing the commercials. He's not spending any time with his family. This guy, he's got a girlfriend who's been with him when he was eating the Viennese. He's got the same girlfriend who stayed with him.
Respect.
Respect. So shout out to her for not being a hooker, or nothing crazy like that.
She stayed with
stayed with him. She's with him.
It's until what Connor's done, but we're just gonna.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
Gonna keep
yeah.
We're gonna keep the little.
He
single-
did fucking nothing.
Ah, boy.
Round 4 and 5.
So McGregor, you think he just?
I think he's done for a while because there's a relationship that he's got to strengthen. It's been made public. They're wanting to settle down a little bit, spend some time together. If he wins, he's taking a year off. If he loses, he's taking a year off. I'm calling that either way.
Because he's got it.
Because he's got it.
Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah.
But if he wins the 155 belt, he has to give the 140. I'm calling that now. They'll strip him of the 145 belt
Yeah.
for the simple fact he's not defended it. and forever. He's demolished. He's dumb if he goes back and fights anybody else in that on a business sense of it.
Yeah.
But let's call Alvarez wins.
Okay.
McGregor's off for a year. You got to bring Khabib into the situation here.
Oh, yeah.
No
You
doubt.
got Khabib, and this is where I'm torn. They could bring, because Diaz turns the needle. It's nowadays UFC. We talked about this. It's showbiz. It's not the fight biz anymore. They might as well do away with the rankings, because obviously the last 4 or 5 pay-per-views, the rankings aren't even considered.
Yeah.
They're just matching it up, trying to sell tickets. So could we see a Nate Diaz versus a Eddie Alvarez for the win?
I think it's
I think the
possible.
UFC's hoping Khabib loses. They'll
I disagree there. I think you do Khabib, Alvarez, with the hopes that Khabib wins to face Nate Diaz. I think that'd be a good fight.
Man, there's all kinds of things that could happen there with that. I just think somehow though Connor
Nate Diaz will get-
I think they're coming
Nate
back.
Diaz will get back because he's got the money now, and Nate is stupid if he fights anybody but for a title or a big money fight.
Well,
He's got the leverage now. He's the only man to
he's
stop
done too
Conor.
much for the UFC over the years. What he deserves the title.
20 some fights in the UFC, fighting top 10 guys constantly. Who else has done that? Name me one person that's fought 20 plus fights in the UFC that's fought top 10 opponents. I mean, he's beat your Takanori Gomi, who over in Pride was a 155 champ forever, made him look sick. He beat Tyrone Woodley. Or was it Tyrone Woodley at 55, or does he fight 70? Who's the guy? No, Johnson.
Rumble Johnson.
No, not Rumble Johnson. No, it's Tyrone Woodley, man. He's beat Donald Cerrone. Yeah, no. There's that one guy, man. Pretty sure it's Tyrone Woodley, but we have to look that up. Like I said, this is live, true. You might get. You don't know what you get. We don't know. We're sitting around talking. We're just talking. But anyway,
Brian Bryant won the UFC belt
I got
back
one.
in 11.
UFC
He
11.
beat Anderson Silva, and that's what kind of. It shook
A lot of people
everything.
don't know that.
Is
If
that
you,
the heel hook?
Well, a lot of people don't know that.
I think
If you research it, it was actually I dove for it was a scissor trip takedown. You can look it up.
Kind of like what he did to that guy.
It kind of don't look like me from far off, but it's me.
Yeah.
You can look it up. It's on YouTube. Type in Anderson Silva gets flying scissor takedown.
You know, that's crazy.
It's there. It's there. You just gotta look it up. It don't look like me from far off. The camera was bad. Like I said, it's back a long time ago.
Trace Fabio's son.
Yeah.
Stop there. But, you know, I think you're a better role model than him because he seems like a douchebag. Trey's a good dude, and he trains.
The thing I like about Trey is like he always smells good when you roll.
He always
you know,
smells
like-
good, and he's good. He's good on the mask, but he always smells good. What
The
more do
key
you
is to have a shampoo and conditioner 2-in-1 combo. I'm not for sure. But
You heard it here.
It comes in a white bottle. It's got gold around it. I don't know what the brand is, but you do that part first.
Probably like that stuff you wash horses in.
I don't know.
Well,
You
you're a
heard it. Shampoo, conditioner, combo.
Yeah, the combo.
So anyway, let's bring this
huge.
back.
I gotta go Walmart.
Let's bring this back a little bit here towards MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that. So I'm calling it Alvarez versus McGregor. Alvarez beats McGregor.
That's a tough. Let me go last.
Alvarez beats McGregor.
What do you got?
I got McGregor.
What do you got?
McGregor.
I'm 3-1 here. It looks like.
I go. Gosh, it's like if I couldn't bet money on it. This is one fight I'm not betting money on.
Absolutely.
I want Conor to win for the simple fact that I want the Diaz Conor for the belt. But something tells me I'm going Alvarez.
All right. You heard it here.
You heard it. I want Conor to win, but he's not going to.
I think Alvarez is just going to have something for him. But anyway, so the Real Deal Combat Sports Show, brought to you by Air, coffee, bottled water, things like that. You know, that's what we're sponsored by. We don't have a lot of hope.
No,
we're
but-
trying. But we're calling a lot of big shots here. And I think that, we've already broke a lot of records according to the statistics I've read about.
Hazard Harold had us. Our ratings were through the roof.
We were one.
Yeah, it was through the roof. Mud Creek Times.
We were number one. They said something about Walking Dead, and this show
Well, I
we might
heard
have to negotiate
down
with
to Double
Nick
Quick.
Taro or something.
They
about
said
their
that.
time or something. I don't know.
Maybe
There's
they
a lot of
can
good
move
things
it.
are coming
I
up.
said down at Double
Um,
Quick, normally charge 50 cents for like a newspaper, you know, about the coverage, and they charge like $1.75. So
$1.75.
That's what's going around on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Well, it was true, it was on the internet.
It's a boost
It
to the
is.
economy right there.
you know, it's growing. I mean, we've seen that.
it's growing.
We've seen that.
We've seen,
Yeah.
people saw it.
50
I know
people-
for a fact
50,
people saw it.
50 people like the Facebook page. So, I mean, we're growing.
Yeah.
That's absolute truth.
We're growing like Bill Clinton downstairs when Mama, I better not forget that.
Yeah, yeah.
Cut that. Cut
we'll,
that.
We'll
That's
use that
boogers.
for we'll
That's
use that
boogers.
for another show. We'll
Okay.
talk, we might get into a little of that. You know, Tuesday election day coming up. Exercise your right to vote, Trump.
Make America
I
great
don't
again.
know. Make America great again. You know, we don't want to influence anybody's political views either way. I mean, we want you to vote for Donald Trump, but we don't want to
Right.
influence you or
No, no.
endorse anybody.
No,
But, you know, he's been on WWE before. They should sell it right there.
dude, when
I'd
he,
say that'll
here's
be
the
it.
thing, I promise you this, back
He was
when,
at WrestleMania.
when he clotheslined Vince McMahon, nobody wasn't calling Trump racist then, nobody wasn't calling him a bad names in, everybody loved Trump when he clotheslined Vince McMahon.
Well,
Because-
boys, look here. Bottom line is Tuesday's election, they get out and vote, and but we don't care. That election's going to do its thing, and we might just throw a show.
we'll cover
We might
election.
just throw a show out in the middle of the coverage to disrupt the election.
What if we go live and broadcast as the news comes in, we'll just broadcast it, what's going on. If every time Trump wins the
I
state,
think we can get official media, like you know, the little things that hang around your neck. Media.
oh, yeah, media.
Oh,
Dude,
intern
what-
rank.
he brings all kinds
Trey's
of
probably
cool
got
stuff.
some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got Trey, man.
We need headphones.
Nathan Little's mad, dude. Nathan Little's mad.
Yeah, he should.
He
He
said,
should have brought some.
Man, we could. You know, we look like bums. We just got done training tonight. Had a great training session, and big fights coming up. November 12th here in Hazard. Support your local MMA. 10-second bell.
I got nothing. I'm blank.
Yeah,
You got
I
anything?
mean, there's going to be some KOs, some submissions coming November 12th. We're going to end it on that. The Real Deal Combat Sports Show, lies, truth, and everything else in between. The worldwide leader in nothing.